How many people do you know or have heard them say they want to be a nurse? Will include me in their number. Hello, everyone, and my name is Janaya Miles. Good morning or evening, whenever you may be watching. I chose this topic because I want to inform people on what it is like working in the hospital. Times have changed in the medical field, and being a nurse does not mean you have to be at bedside your entire career. You can travel, work from home, work at doctor's office, the list goes on. I will do my best to inform you on the things that interest me. Today, I want you to know on how working in nursing homes and hospitals are like and different. Next, I want to tell you about the options for traveling nurses. And finally, how you can specialize in a department of your preference. One thing that interests me is labor and delivery, and that's where I plan to practice the majority of my nursing career. I have always been drawn to babies, and it really amazes me that women can grow another human. While working in the hospital setting, you make rounds around the clock and chart them, unless you are in the ER. But in the nursing home setting, you make rounds at the beginning of your shift and monitor your residents throughout your 12 to 16-hour shift. In the hospital, your patients change daily. This may vary depending on the patient's care. Also, this may differ because in the hospital, you can get floated to another floor, where your tasks and how you care for a patient will change. Whereas in the hospital, typically your patients, whereas in the nursing home, typically your patients are the same because that facility is their home, meaning you know what your workday would be like before you get to work. Here's how I would like to compare doctor's office to ER. Nurses and techs do not have assigned patients. Also, it is only so much they can do. They can both run tests and give you fast diagnosis. They can prescribe you medicines. If you're in a life or death emergency, you do not go to to the doctor's office. A doctor's office is like a nursing home. Patients are the same. Did you know some nurses travel in their home state? Yes, I worked with some nurses who live in the state and was classified as a traveling nurse. Once they became nurses, they found an agency that pays for travel expenses and decided to work in a local hospital. I know you have heard of home care nurses. The name tells you everything. I have met nurses that travel near and far. This category of nurses is like nurses who work in hospitals because they make rounds on patients. The only difference is they do it in the comfort of their own home. They can be compared to nurses who work in nursing homes, whose patients remain the same. Finally, as you can see, that nurses can provide various of care. I like labor and delivery. You may like to work in the ICU. The next person may want to be on the psych floor or even rehab. I can speak from experience. There is nothing too much that can make me feel uncomfortable, meaning I could fall into those nurses who work on the burn unit. Some people prefer to work at a fast pace, like surgery or the ER. In my speech, I have talked about several different ways you can be a nurse. Thank you for your time today. I hope I informed you on the different type of nurses.